We're feeling clean for episode 113. Welcome guys to episode 113 of the Ultra RC Hobby Show. I am Chris. As you know, Aaron is not here. We are doing this social distancing. So welcome. You know what we do on the show. We do bashing, we do crashing, we do customer builds, we race all across Canada, we do local events, and we do all sorts of stuff like that. So let's get into it. I just got the Maxx all painted up. Look at that. The purple with the fluorescent orange lightning bolts. I got the orange tailgate protector and roof protector with the wide Maxx kit. This is the wider Maxx body from Traxxas. I mean, not wider, but the thicker body. So it should hold up a little bit better. We'll see how it does. We're gonna take it out and jump it off some staircases today. So let's find out what happens. Did end up breaking it a little early. A little bit cartwheel there. Ended up breaking one of the C-hubs on it. So it's all fixed up now. But after, I took the UDR out for a good rip. So here's some footage of some UDR hauling with the high rack.
We have all the Proline Pro A arms built, ready to go on the truck, and we're going to do a little bit of a comparison video. These are broken in RPM A arms, and you can see that they back out. So the hinge pin here and the hinge pin on the inner is also backed out. This is definitely something we do have as a recurring issue, so we can do a little bit of testing with how well the hinge pin fits in these arms. So we're going to get these ones installed, and we're going to make sure that everything is going to have some nice free-flowing suspension travel, because that is always the fear. Like I said before, we've had some issues with these RPM control arms having a little bit too tight of tolerances on the rear hub carrier or also on the inner rear hinge pin. So we're going to make sure these Proline arms move freely, so let's get them all installed and let's test them out. Okay, so now this is the issue that we have with the RPM control arms. So you can see on this inner pivot right here, all of the wear and tear that it's causing because this pivot is actually too close on the bulkhead itself, and these ones are worn in and they're still quite tight. Now, looking at these new Proline A-arms, when you put them on, there's definitely a little bit of a gap. I mean, it's definitely a heavy gap, and we could probably put a shim on that hinge pin to take up that space. But now we're on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, where it's actually quite loose. So let's get these installed and make sure that they're not super sloppy. I mean, the finished product does look quite well. They're nice and boxed in, and it gives us 4 holes for the shock instead of just 3. So let's get these installed, check them out, see how they look. We got the rear A-arms all put on, and they look quite good. Give you a nice big groove opening for drive shafts. So if you wanted to run the MIPs, you should have absolutely no room for clearancing, even on the up travel and full down travel of the suspension. One thing I will say that I am not a huge fan of is the hinge pin holes on the A-arms for the outers and the inner pivots are very, very tight. Like, you really need to push the hinge pin into those pivots. And coming from a racing background, normally we will actually ream out the A-arms to make sure that those hinge pins have the smoothest possible actual slot in the A-arm itself. And we want that A-arm to fully be able to drop and freely move without any resistance, because we want that suspension to do its job. Before we put the shocks on, they were quite tight, which is all because of the hinge pin bind. So you got to watch a little bit, because you can't take too much material out, because these Traxxas hinge pins are going to be threaded, and the end that has the screw head is going to be threaded. So you got to be careful not to take out too much material. If it was me, I would file them just ever so slightly, just to open that up a little bit. But other than that, I will say the fit and finish is quite nice. We haven't got the fronts on yet, but I'm going to give them, I would say, a 7 out of 10 for fit and finish. They look super awesome, but that hinge pin definitely deducts some points for me. So let's get the fronts on and let's go take this out for a test. But that'll be on next week's episode of the Ultra RC Hobbies Show, so stay tuned. Well, there we have it. That's the end. Episode 113. So from Chris and myself, thank you everybody so much for all the support through this crazy times. And hopefully we can open up back to the public soon and be able to let you guys and girls into the shop so you can see what's going down, and we can get back to having fun together. But before we say goodbye to tonight's episode, don't forget to check out Chris on all his social media platforms. So RC Deebs on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram. Don't forget to check out our website, www.ultrarchobbies.com. And don't forget to check out us on social media. So Ultra RC Hobbies on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Hopefully you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not, head over there and go subscribe to our channel. And yeah, thank you everybody so much. We really do appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next one. So have a great night.